Hey guys, I just want to go over a couple things in Canvas for to help you with some assignments in math. So they have updated Canvas, so the equation editor is no longer right here. Remember, the equation editor is the square root of x. But if you come over here, these three dots where it says more, they've kind of hidden the equation editor. Okay, so insert math equation, click on the square root of x. Again, I had to click on the three dots first, and there's the square root of x. When I do that, my equation editor comes up. So this allows you to do all kinds of things in math. So I'm going to go over a few quick things for Math 1, Math 2, and Math 3. If you feel comfortable using this, then you're probably good by watching the first bit, just knowing how to access it. But if you feel like you need to look at this and maybe go over a few more things, then watch the rest of the video. But here we go. So Math 1, we have some equations that need subscripts. This is like an exponent. You got your fraction button, your square root, and so let's start with why would we use a subscript? So if we have, let's say, point slope form. So we have y minus y, and then we should have a subscript 1 equals m parentheses x minus x, and then we have to have another subscript of 1. And if you remember, this is the equation of point slope form, and your x subscript 1 and your y subscript 1, that just represents your first point. Okay, if you have 1 point, then that is your first point. If you're given 2 points, then you just choose which one is your first points, but that would be your subscript. All right, in Math 2, we have quadratics, we have fractions, so you may have a quadratic like f of x equals, and you have a quadratic, so you need an exponent here, x squared plus x plus 1 or something. Okay, so the exponent would be the superscript. So you got a subscript and superscript. We also have exponent properties. So we may have something like, let's see. Let's do let's just do parentheses. I'm going to make one up. Let's do a fraction. So we'll have x to the third power, y to the fourth power, z, we'll say it's to the first power, so we won't need that. And on the bottom, we'll have x to the negative 1 power, y squared. And then you have to use the arrow buttons to get outside the parentheses. And then if I want to put this whole thing to a power, I can do that. Okay, so that's using the fraction button and the exponent button. All right, we also deal with radicals. If you have a square root of 4, you know that equals 2. But sometimes we look at different roots. If you need like a cube root, then you would use the nth root button, and then that way you can insert whatever number you need to put in there. Okay, so those are the main ones here on the first little bit that you would use. All right, if you're looking for a Greek symbol, most of the time the Greek symbol you see would be pi. If we're dealing with circles and stuff, you'll be using the symbol pi. There's also, that's the delta button. It's not the triangle button. Sometimes we use theta. We use theta for an unknown angle in some of the geometry stuff, or in the trigonometry stuff. You may see theta, and that's used a lot instead of x for an angle measure. And then let's see, what else? What if we want to do in behavior? So we have x, then we have x approaches infinity is out here under miscellaneous. So it looks like the sideways 8. So as, let's see, x approaches infinity, as y, we have to get another arrow here, as y approaches, let's say, infinity as well. But maybe we want to use function notation, and we'll use f of x approaches infinity. Okay, so there's how you would do the end behavior. All right, there's also, if you have, like, again, with some geometry stuff, you may have a 30 degree, here's the degree mark, 30, 60, 90 triangle, or a 45, 45, 90. The angle measure here, maybe you need to put the angle 45 or something, okay? So there's those symbols that may be helpful. This is the circle symbol. This is if you want to make bullet marks. You've got another square root button here. I'm not sure why you'd use that because you have the one on the beginning. There's a triangle. If you wanted to designate that something's a triangle or a circle, then those symbols are there. Again, there's lots of things you can do with the equation editor. Let me show you one more thing. If you're in Math 3, go back to basic, and if we're working on logarithms, which we are right now, log, let's say base b of x equals y. So again, the subscript here would be used if you're dealing with a logarithm. And this would be if and only if b to the y power equals x. Okay, so again, just a quick thing on how to use the equation editor. Go to the 3 dots, find the square root of x, and then just play around with it. Have a good day.